Good evening, everybody. Welcome to SHN Sports presentation of Eastview Lady Patriots softball. The coaches meet at home plate with the umpires getting ready for tonight's ball game. Quick rundown of the starting lineups. We're at Rouse High School here in Leander, Texas. The Eastview Patriots on the road. The Rouse Lady Raiders in the gray pants, white pinstripes, jerseys, maroon numerals. The Lady Patriots in the patriotic uniforms tonight, all red pants, red jerseys, stars and stripes on the sleeves. On the third base side tonight, all grass surface for the Rouse field. No measurements on the field. It looks about the same, about the 200 down the lines. Maybe a little deeper in center field here, but no markings on the wall. I'm Wally Harmon, and here tonight with me, Keith Burris. On the call tonight of the Eastview Lady Patriots softball. Keith, that as a dad of a player, the Patriots come off a big loss, a big rivalry loss on Tuesday night to Georgetown, 2-1. How do they react to that?
Actually, I think that they're going to react pretty well with that. I mean, that was a tough game, and they knew it was going to be a tough game, and I would expect both teams to actually make big time pushes in the playoffs. But right now, just kind of looking and see how their body language is. Right now, it looks like they're pretty loose and having fun. So I would expect them to be pretty on point tonight.
Bethany Garrett back in the circle, stepping right back in. Pitched a great game the other night. I tell you what, the battle was truly in the circle. The freshman for Georgetown threw a really good game and kept the balance, the hitters off balance. And you're talking about one or two plays in that game that changed the outcome to a 2-1 ball game, where one pass ball here or one play here. We capitalized on one error, the throwing error by the catcher Swan into left field, allowed Kalen to score, but then we strand about 8 runners on base and about 6 in scoring position. And so an opportunity tonight against a team that's struggling all year long. Rouse comes in 0-18. Haven't won a game all year, haven't won one in district. But you see their body language. They're down there having fun. They're enjoying the sport. Yeah. But Eastview has the pressure on them. You're sitting tied in second place. You still have one big game to play. Now, the other big game tonight is Georgetown on the road at Leander. That one has an effect on this district standings as well as what comes up on April 13th for Eastview against Leander at home.
Yeah, and I would expect that Eastview right now, this is a game that they should win just as long as they dot the I's and cross the T's. But it's still not going to be easy. But I tell you, there's some other teams in this district that are really tough. I mean, like Cedar Park and Leander Glen are very good teams. And we've got to take care of business tonight.
Absolutely. We have the game tonight, our last road game of the regular season here at Rouse. And then we turn around and we have our last 3 games at home. I love that, back in the friendly confines of Patriot Park. Let's see. Next Friday we face off against Cedar Park. Next Saturday, then we host Glen at 1 p.m. And then we have Leander coming in on the 13th of April to finish off the regular season. But then a break. I was talking to Coach Wright here before the ball game. There's a break. We finish on the 13th of April. That's our last home game, our last regular season game. Our playoffs don't start till May 1st. And so Coach Wright said, I have 3 games available, and there's already schools calling. Pflugerville has called. Leander said, let's play again. And it's just an opportunity, and like Coach Wright said, I want to play good competition to make sure the girls are up and ready and playing at a high level as they move into their playoff run. They come into the ball game tonight, 20-3 on the season, 8-2 in district play. Leander sits atop the standings, 25-0, 10-0 in district. And so tonight is an opportunity for them to get upset as Georgetown goes in, and Georgetown's on a run. Georgetown has been winning multiple ball games lately, and so the challenge will be there. If Georgetown can maybe pull an upset and then Leander get down. Leander hasn't dominated everybody, but they are a good team that play well, but they can be beat.
Number 13, Natalie Atkinson.
Let's see what we got here. Let's go with the Rouse starting lineup. Leading off, playing second base, number 9, Riley Slimp. Batting second, playing third base, number 1, Jordan Westenskow. Hitting third and playing catcher, number 14, Mackie Averett. Batting cleanup and playing center field, number 15, Taniva Tate. Batting fifth and playing pitcher in the circle, number 2, Abby Damasio. Hitting sixth and playing shortstop, number 4, Kendall Nieberg. In the 7th spot, playing right field, number 7, Hannah Solomon. Batting eighth and playing first base, number 6, Devin MacArthur. And hitting ninth and playing left field, number 11, Cheyenne Kelch. In the flex position, nope, they don't have one. Everyone's going to hit tonight. So for the
first base, number 6, Devin
Lady
McCarthy.
Raiders, they will hit everybody. No
Against them this year, but I have a feeling that they played against each other many a time before when they were younger.
3-0 count to Rodriguez. She's taken all the way and takes the pitch for strike one. 3 balls, 1 strike with 2 outs here in the top of the first. 2-0. The Patriots push across 2 early on in the Damasio fields it. Nice job of fielding the position in the opportunity just to keep the girls, 1, fresh and not sitting for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
As Slimp fouls this one back into the screen.
Well, they say iron sharpens iron. So.
And I loved Coach Wright's mentality. And you know, what a job as Coach Wright's coming here for her first year to take over this program. That's 20-3 and 8-2 a district, and it has a good team. And she inherited a good team, but she's done a good job with them. But I loved her mentality there when we talked before the game. Swing and a miss by Slimp, and she goes down on strikes for the first out of the inning for the Rouse Lady Raiders. That'll bring up the third baseman, number 1, Jordan Westenskow.
That was a really good location there, kind of down and away, and she wouldn't have been able to do much with it, even if she had put the bat on the ball.
Nice pitch by Garrett to get Slimp on the strikeout. First strikeout of the night for Garrett. She ended the game against Georgetown the night, only allowing, I believe it was 5 or 6 hits, and she had 6 strikeouts, only walk, and force her off balance, maybe with a prize ball, maybe a changeup. And Damasio takes a hack at it, bounces it off back into the backstop to stay alive with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first.
These ladies have, and just because Bethany can get it up there pretty quick, and just to be able to foul a good pitch like that off is really, really good.
Little change up there from Bethany, and it evens up the count. Ball inside. So 2-2 the count now with 2 outs to Damasio, the pitcher for the Lady Raiders.
We still got pretty good shape here.
She is able to, like you said, she's able to do a lot of things with that bat. A good stick for Moses.
I'd probably give it a green light right here the way it seemed like she's locked in. So
Damasio's pitch is low and outside, ball 4. Another RBI for Moses. She moves up to the number 3 slot. She brings in Aguilar on the base on balls. And so the Patriots lead now 4-0. 2 runs in the first, 2 runs here in the second. And the big stick up for the Patriots. The cleanup hitter, the third baseman, number 34, Michaela Wesley, who we know is capable of sending a ball the opposite direction, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
I'll tell you,
getting on tonight. She's been on base both of her at-bats, both of them here in the second inning. Cabrera for her second at-bat here in the second inning. She right field. This one bounces in. Wooten trying to get in a rundown as Bella Diaz down at third base, trying to get that run across. But, yeah, like you said, Keith, back in the first at-bat, Cabrera didn't try to pull that pitch in her first single to right field. She went with it, drove it into right field. She takes this one for a strike. 2 balls and a strike now to Gabby Cabrera, playing center field tonight for the Patriots. 1 for 1 on the night. Steps in with a runner down at third. An 8-0 lead for the Patriots. Wooten down at first. Damasio with the pitch. Cabrera sends it towards the shortstop. Big bounce. She fields it there. She'll throw to first for the putout. 6-3. Gets the third out of the inning, but not before a lot of damage done by the Patriots. 6 runs. We'll have to figure out how many hits they got there. But nonetheless, 8-0. The Patriots lead it after an inning and a half. We'll be back with the bottom of the second. You're listening to Patriots Softball on SHN. And we'll go to the bottom of the second, 8-0. The Patriots lead it over the Rouse Lady Raiders. 6 runs on 4 hits, 2 errors, and 2 runners left on base. And this is going to bring up the 6, 7, and 8 hitters for the Rouse Lady Raiders, Nieberg, Solomon, and MacArthur, the shortstop, right field, and first baseman. Nieberg will step in from the right side. Her first at bat here to face against Bethany Garrett, the senior pitcher, in the circle still for the Patriots. Garrett only threw 23 pitches in the first inning. First pitch here, swing and a miss for strike one against Nieberg. But a great job in 2 innings for the Patriots. You already have 61 pitches marked for Damasio for Rouse, and so they get to her early and put that pressure on the defense. Drew a couple of errors there, a couple of plays that you might have gone to first to get the out and given up the run that allowed the inning to stay alive for the Patriots. As this pitch sails high for ball one and evens out the count to Nieberg, 1-1.
And that's what that pressure putting on the defense does for you. It makes them have to make decisions and make decisions quickly.
The pitch from Garrett is in there for strike two. Now Nieberg behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. No outs here in the bottom of the second. 8-0, the Patriots lead it over Rouse.
I tell you, Bethany does a great job of actually moving the ball. She goes down, then goes up, then goes away. And right there, that has some movement on it, but right down the middle of the plate, so great job.
Speaking of going down, Nieberg goes down on strike swinging for the, I believe, 3rd strikeout of the ball game for Bethany Garrett. First out of the inning here in the bottom of the second for the Raiders, and that's going to bring up the right fielder, Hannah Solomon. She'll step in from the right side for her first at bat. I almost thought we might see Emery Aguilar in the circle tonight, just on a different game, change things up and give Garrett a night off. But now the Patriots, after a swing and a miss by Solomon here for an 0-1 count, the Patriots do have a week off. Tonight's the last game they'll have until next Friday night when they bring Welcome Cedar Park into Patriot Park. So a time for the girls that kind of gets a break from competition. Big swing and a miss from Solomon. Garrett put a little mustard on that one, and the 0-2 count.
You still might see her come out today, but I tell you, when Bethany gets rolling, it's hard to do anything against her.
No balls and 2 strikes. Solomon back in. The pitch. Strikeout called there. She got rung up. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. The 4th strikeout of the ball game for the senior Bethany Garrett. The second out of the second inning, and that'll bring up the number 8 hitter, the first baseman, Devin MacArthur, for her first plate appearance. She'll step in from the left side. And nothing better than what you just said, Keith. Bethany gets on a roll. It's hard to put anything, get a bat on it.
It looked like the batter was expecting something else and just kind of buckled her knees a little bit, and she wanted to swing but just couldn't pull the trigger.
Garrett, first pitch of the at-bat here, and a swing and a miss by MacArthur. 0-1 the count, and I think I see a little different, little mustard on the pitches coming tonight from Garrett. I tell you what, I don't think she was too excited about Tuesday night's game and the loss. She pitched well, but, man, she is coming out with a vengeance here tonight. This pitch just outside for ball one, evens out the count at 1-1. But you love to see that reaction coming from the senior. She gets back in the circle, and it's like, all right, this isn't happening again. Now MacArthur pops this one up towards the shortstop. Vidalis ranges back, makes it about 2 steps back into the grass. P6 for the putout, and that ends the second inning in tonight's ball game. No runs, no hits, no errors. No runners left on base. After 2 innings, it's pressure applied in each and every inning so far tonight as Aguilar sends the shot. The base hit to left field on the night. Now she's 1 for 2 as she reached on the fielder's choice. Back in her last at bat in the second inning.
Yeah, that was a nice smooth swing there, and just hit a line drive. As a hitter, that's what you want to see.
Vidalis runs the box, holds on to the bat. The pitch outside for ball one. So Vidalis ahead on the count now, 1-0. Vidalis 2 for 2 on the night. She has a triple and a single.
Look how far back the third and short are playing right now.
Now the swing, pitch up and in for ball one. As Vidalis will kind of trot down to second base. Now Averett goes to throw down. Vidalis trying to get into pickle, but the shortstop not playing into that one. Nieberg knew better, watching Emery Aguilar down at third. And so now runners in scoring position, both of them. As Aguilar down at third, Vidalis down at second. Sanford steps back in with a 1-0 count. No outs here in the top of the third. 8-0, the Patriots lead it here early. Damasio with the pitch. Sanford takes this one elevated for ball number 2.
Yeah, now she can afford just to pick something that she really likes and just take a rip at it.
And something you don't see a lot here. You won't see her do it, but the third baseman usually never will play back on Sanford. She is able to lay down beautiful bunts, but this time she's going to punch it into left field, and it's going to drop her a base hit. Aguilar around to score. Couch gets it in quickly. Sanford in with a base hit, RBI single, as Vidalis moves up to third. And just, like you said, just swinging and putting the ball into play, changing things up when the runners move around.
That's kind of like shampoo, is wash, rinse, and repeat. I mean, because we're putting them basically, the first three batters are probably all within about 10 feet of where they fell. So it looks like they're executing the game plan.
And now steps in the first baseman, number 4, Kaylee Moses.
Watch out, Coach.
Coach Moreno, someone said, I just warned you. He moves back a little more into foul territory. Sanford takes off to second, easily in with a stolen base. First pitch was high for ball 1.
I'll tell you what, Coach Moreno looked like he's doing push-ups down there, but he looks like he's doing push-ups most time anyway. He's a pretty fit guy, so
he's
got
his
good
eye.
reaction skills.
He's paying attention, and this is better to Moses a lot. And the ball grounded towards second base. Takes a high hop. She's going to throw to first for the out. But another RBI for Moses. 4 RBIs and 3 at-bats. 2 ground outs pushed across an RBI, and then a 2 RBI base hit last inning.
Yeah, you notice their left-handed hitters all trying to hit to the left side, and then the first 3 got on base. And when Moses gets up there, it's like, okay, what I need to do? You got runners to second and third. Hey, I got to pull the ball. She pulled it, got her in. Another great plan executed.
Now steps in the third baseman, Michaela Wesley. First pitch is in the dirt for ball 1. Sanford down at third. 1 out here in the top of the third. 9-0. The Patriots lead it over the Raiders. Wesley 2 for 2 on the night, I believe. She has a single and a double. Steps in here with an opportunity for another RBI with Sanford down at third. 1 ball, no strikes. The pitch from Damasio is in there. Wesley shoots it into center field.
Pretty far back.
And Tate is going to make it right at the fence. An RBI sac fly for Michaela Wesley. She stays perfect on the night. Another RBI. Stays 2 for 2. But those balls hanging up there in center field just a little bit deeper than the lines. The other night when we were playing at Georgetown, it's 200 all the way around. And so the center field fence quite a bit more in where you typically see a center field out a little bit more. I think that we found the deepest part of the ball on those two park on those 2 shots there from Westbrook and Wesley.
Yeah, if you're out at Patriot Park, we still got a little bit of ways to go.
Yeah,
that's out at Patriot Park. That has to be one of the biggest softball fields you'll see in high school.
And one of the most beautiful fields. I tell you what, job well done by GISD when they put that one in. Westbrook steps in with 2 outs. 2 runs across here in the top of the third. As the umpire wears another one.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have to get a shout-out to Rouse, too. This is a really nice complex here. Really is.
The field is in great shape. Here in the beautiful part of Leander. They've done a great job here at this campus. Westbrook grounds it towards third. The third baseman up with it, throws across the Guyman for the putout. 5-3 in the book for the third out of the inning, but not before the Patriots do damage. 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. After 2.5, 10-0, the Patriots lead it over the Raiders. Back with more Patriot softball in just a moment. We're going to come back to the bottom of the third, and it's 11-0. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and no runners left on base for the Patriots. As we go to the bottom of the third inning, due up for the Raiders will be the 9-1-2 hitters. Cheyenne Kelch, Riley Slimp, and Jordan Westenskow due up.
You know, I was going to mention Wally last inning, but you watch Bethany out there, and it seems like she's smiling all the time. But you know, deep down inside, she's like, "No, I'm going after you.
I'm coming after you." And I was noticing that the other night, and I wondered. I'm glad you brought that up. She'll strike someone out, or she'll give up a hit, and she'll have a smile, and you're almost like, okay, that just has to be one of those. Is she like happy, or is she deep down going, okay, this isn't happening again? It did that drive of a senior pitcher that has seen a lot and thrown a lot of games for the Patriots, and in her career, Couch turns and squares the bunt, fouls it off back to the screen for the first strike. 0-1 the count here to Couch.
I'll tell you, she's been in in her 4 years of high school, she's been in a lot of tough games. And, you know, over the last few years, you know, Eastview continues to get better and better, and she's been a main part of that.
And Couch fouls this one back into the backstop for strike two. 0-2 the count. 23 pitches thrown in the first inning, Keith, for Bethany. Second inning, only 10. Locking in, going after, attacking the hitters, and doing work. 33 pitches on the night coming into the inning for Bethany. 0-2 count to Couch. This pitch just up and outside for a ball one. 1-2 the count.
Yeah, she's wanting her to chase that one.
And now Bethany headed to Texas
A&M San Antonio. Or at least I believe that's where she's headed.
That's right. I talked to her dad the other night. As Couch grounds this to third base, Wesley up with it, fires to Moses, 5-3 on the putout, first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the leadoff hitter, Slimp, the second baseman for the Raiders. She's 0 for 1 on the night with a strike. I met Mr. Garrett and was talking to him, and that is correct. Bethany has committed. Will be playing more softball in her career, pitching for UT. Let's see.
Texas A&M. Oh,
Texas
you better not get that mixed up.
I was going to say UT A&M, Texas A&M San Antonio.
Yep.
Next season to continue her softball career and educational studies. The pitch fouled off by Slimp.
Well, I tell you that, you know, talking about just the talent you have in Georgetown, the other day it was amazing just to see the Georgetown Lady Eagles and the Lady Patriots, and you had a lot of college-bound players on that field the other day. And I tell you, it was a very good game, and the city should be proud of that.
Absolutely. Two good products being put on the field. I was talking to one of the dads up in the booth when we were broadcasting. It was the second baseman, Pinnell's dad, and she's headed to Texas State, and she's only a junior. She'll be back around for another season as one of the studs for the Georgetown Lady Eagles. And so just talent up and down both teams, both rosters, and so fun to see. This pitch low and in the dirt, 1-2. Slimp fouled one off, took one for strike two. But this one in the dirt, and the count 1-2 now with one out to the leadoff hitter, Slimp.
Well, you know, Eastview's not going anywhere. Georgetown's not going anywhere. Leander's not going anywhere because their pitcher who's committed to OU, from my understanding, is a junior. So she's still got another year under her belt. So, but you know what? You know, getting a chance to see that kind of talent and these batters getting a chance to see the type of pitching that they're seeing, that is really amazing. I don't know if you know the first lady who pitched against Eastview, she's actually a D1 commit to the University of Houston.
Blinko.
Okay. Hannah, yep. And so that just shows you the kind of talent they have.
Slimp stays alive in this at bat. That's the third pitch she's fouled off, and she sends one down the third base line. Out of play. 1-2, still the count to the leadoff hitter, Riley Slimp. She's 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout, but she's doing battle here in the top of the third inning. Down 11-0, the Rouse Lady Raiders still fighting away here in the ball game. Slimp back in from the left side. Bethany Garrett in the circle with the pitch. And she floats this one just high for ball two. But a lot of talent. You see, we've got, you know, the seniors that will be leaving. Kristen Maldonado will be graduating. Michaela Wesley will be graduating. Bethany Garrett will be graduating.
Kaylin be graduating as well.
Kaylin Westbrook. Isabel Severson, Sam Calderon, strike three called. Slimp down on strikes again. That'll be the fifth strikeout of the ball game for Bethany Garrett, the second out of the third inning for the Rouse Lady Raiders. That'll bring up the third baseman, Jordan Westenskow. She's 0 for 1 on the night as she grounded out to Sanford back in the first inning in her only at bat.
Yeah, I'll tell you, with Coach Wright here, I tell you, the last, Coach Volek, who's a previous coach, did a great job here, and then they're bringing in Coach Wright, and I tell you, she's really got these ladies firing on all cylinders, and really set the bar high, and can't wait to see what happens over the next several years.
5 of your starters in the lineup tonight. Make it 6 of your starters in the lineup tonight, all returning next year. And so you look at it with Wooten stepping in, opportunity and taking advantage, playing a great game tonight, doing well at the plate and taking advantage of that opportunity she gets tonight in the start. Another player that will return.
Yep.
Swing and a miss by Weston Scout. She fouled one off down the right side out of play. Now the count 0-2 with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. But you have 6 players that have seen a good amount of time, 5 of them being constant starters that are coming back to the program. So a good step for Coach Wright in this program.
I'll tell you that, the school's been around since, 2012, and we'll go ahead and come back, I guess.
Yeah, we'll come back and talk about it as Weston Scout goes down on strikes. The 7th strikeout, I believe, or 6th or 7th strikeout of the night for Bethany Garrett. And we go no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. The Rouse Raiders go in order in the bottom of the third. We go to the top of the fourth, 11-0. The Patriots lead it. And we'll be back with more Patriots softball on SHN in just a moment. Go to the top of the fourth inning, 11-0. The Patriots lead it over the Rouse Lady Raiders. Damasio still in the circle. She's thrown 76 pitches so far here in the ballgame. And stepping up in the lineup will be the 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Rodriguez, Wooten, and Cabrera. Rodriguez steps in. 0 for 2 on the night. She reached base in the second at bat on an error by the shortstop. Grounded out in her first at bat. Steps in here with no outs in the top of the fourth. Rodriguez from the right side. Damasio, the right-handed pitcher, with the pitch. And bounces in for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Rodriguez.
Yeah, well, I was, kind of finishing the thought from the last inning is that for everyone that goes out to Patriot Park, if you walk through the walkway there and just kind of look to the right, you'll see the board of all the Lady Patriots who have actually are committed to college. And
I went and took a look at that the other night. We got there early. We were just kind of setting up and taking our time. And I walked down by the concession stand. It's just impressive to see that a program that's been around since 2012 when Eastview opened, just the product that gets turned out. It's so proud of the young ladies that pushed themselves and made it to the next level, as you call it, in sports, and to pursue their education, but to pursue their education while being able to compete in athletics. Your daughter being one of them that left the team after that unfortunate COVID-shortened year last year to go on and play at the next level. Rodriguez fouls off one, now takes 2 pitches for a 2-1 count here in her third at bat of the night.
Well, that list, Wally, of commits that are going to college is going to grow quite a bit over the next few years, and you're seeing it right now.
3-1 the count, and now this one bounces in. For ball 4, Rodriguez reaches base. The 4th inning in a row, Keith, that the leadoff batter aboard. Now, like we've done the last 3 innings, the first 2 or 3 hitters getting on, pressure being applied. It starts off the same way. The leadoff batter does their job, gets on base, and now steps in Paley Wooten, the right fielder, number 11, 1 for 2 on the night. With a single, reached on an error in her first at bat, steps in here, takes a cut, fouls it off back behind home plate. 0-1. Oh yeah, the wall will be updated here, especially this year. And I need to do some more research as we prepare for the last homestand, the last 3 home games here coming up in the next couple of weeks. We want to start spotlighting our seniors. So I'm going to do some visiting with Coach Wright and some parents. But, yes, definitely those honors will be going up. Play down to third. Nice play by the third baseman, Weston Scow. She fields the ground ball from Wooten, fires over to second base for the putout. Wooten reaches first base on the fielder's choice. 5-4 on the putout. Forces Rodriguez for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up number.
Is that Severson?
We got a substitution here.
Is that Severson?
Going into bat for Cabrera will be number 18, a senior, Isabel Severson. She steps in here for her first at bat, pinch hitting. Steps in from the right side, takes the first pitch for a ball. Wooten down at first base with 1 out.
You know, these are valuable at bats right now because when you get in the playoffs, you don't know what's going to happen, and you might have to have somebody, get a spot at bat, and having these kind of bats and seeing those pitches, I tell you, it's invaluable.
Strike 1 on the swing and miss by Severson. Evens up the count at 1-1. The pitch from Damasio. Severson smokes it past Damasio into center fielder. A base hit for Severson. And doing your job. And I think that's invaluable. You think about that, Keith. The at-bats Wooten's seeing tonight. The fact that in the 4th inning, Severson's taking an at-bat. Valuable for those players, one, to build confidence, but for this team and these teammates to be competent in supporting these, that, hey, if something comes up, there's no doubt, hey, we've got players on this team that will come in and play their role. And a great job tonight there by Severson and her at-bat and by Wooten so far. That brings up Emery Aguilar, the number 9 hitter in the lineup. 1 out here in the top of the 4th inning. Runners at first and second. Wooten down at second base. Severson at first. Aguilar on the night, 1 for 2. This ball in the dirt gets past the catcher and allows both runners to move up as Severson gets down to second. Wooten up to third base. The catcher, Averett, doing a great job tonight. Just only so many you're going to get stopped. Eventually one ball is going to find it getting through one of the holes there, and it does there on that pitch that hopped in the dirt. So Aguilar steps back in with a 2-0 count. 2 runners in scoring position. And she holds off. What a good job there by Aguilar. Looked like she was ready to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I tell you, she's going to wait for that good pitch. And I tell you, last inning when she lined that one to left field, I mean, it was just a sweet swing.
3-0 count. She'll pull the bat back and take ball 4.
Because a lot of times you don't have to swing it hard. You just got to get a nice swing, get it on a good part of the bat, and let the pitcher do the work for you.
Severson reaches for Severson. That was Aguilar. She walks, so now the base is loaded for the leadoff hitter. Tonight's shortstop, number 9, Ariana Vidalis. Vidalis 3 for 3 on the night. And she'll step in here, pulls the bat back, and takes the first pitch for strike 1. 0-1 the count with 1 out. Here in the top of the 4th inning. Sun goes down, it starts to cool off a little.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you that, looking at that Ari and Carrie, when they get on base, I'm telling you, this is a very difficult team to deal with because they just put pressure on the other team, and you give your big bats like Kristen and Michaela and Gabby and all these ladies a chances to really get up there and do some damage.
This ball skips in for ball 2. 2-1 the count to Vidalis. She is 3 for 3 on the night. Steps in with 1 out here in the top of the 4th. Bases full of Patriots again. Looking to do more damage. Vidalis sets in, takes this pitch, and it drops in there for strike 2. 2-2 the count now to the leadoff Vidalis.
Yeah, I talked to Ari's dad the other night, and we were talking to, of course I was being curious and seeing where she's going to college. I don't think she's committed anywhere yet, but I think we're pretty confident that colleges are looking at her.
Speed, now for the first time, I look at, when I get the rosters and start making my spreadsheets and looking at these players, Vidalis shows an outfielder shortstop all year long. She's patrolled center field for the Patriots and done a great job. And now doing a great job at shortstop tonight. Ground ball to second base, the play to the plate. What a throw and play there by the second baseman, Slimp. She fields it and makes a Nice throw to the catcher, Averett at home for the force out. 4-2 on the put out. So it forces Wooten out at the plate. Second out of the inning as Vidalis reaches first base on the fielder's choice. And that'll bring up the junior second baseman, Kerry Sanford. Base is still loaded here in the top of the second. No runs across. Slimp cut that one off at home.
Yeah, I tell you, the only way she could get that is actually being very definitive in her action, because if she had hesitated at all, she'd have been safe.
Sanford takes the first pitch for strike one. Sanford on the night. 1 for 2 with a walk. Steps in here with the bases loaded. 0-1 count. Damasio's pitch. Sanford fouls it off down the third base line, off the top of the Patriot dugout down the third base line. And now Sanford behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the Patriot fourth. But Vidalis, the speed, the ability, you've seen the bunts, the little slap hits, and then you see the line drive in her last at bat prior to this one. And so very talented with a bat, very talented in the build, speed that is tough to deal with. Sanford stays alive, fouling this one back. But Vidalis, it's interesting to see. There's got to be people looking at her and the talents that she'll bring to any team.
Yeah, it's amazing to see when she, like I said, when she hits in the gap, it's either a triple or a home run, and she's one of the only few people. I mean, Carrie, with an exception here, I think she's the same way. Is that typically the third base is a play at third is always pretty close. For those young ladies, typically it's not.
Exactly, exactly. As Sanford stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch from Damasio, and Sanford sends it into center field. Tate hesitates for a second, now runs back, and 2 steps short of the fence, makes the catch. Tate doing a great job of patrolling center field for the Raiders tonight. Made 3 catches at the wall, but they had a big one there to keep the Patriots off the board here in the fourth. No runs in the inning, 11-0, still the score. All on just 1 hit, no errors. And 3 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the fourth, 11-0. The Patriots lead it over Rouse. More Patriots softball in just a moment. To the bottom of the fourth inning, 11-0. The Patriots lead it over the Raiders. Bethany Garrett still in the circle. She steps in, having thrown 47 pitches on the night. She'll face off against the 3, 4, and 5 hitters, Averett, Tate, and Damasio. Averett fouls the first pitch back into the backstop for strike one, 0-1 the count. So Wooten has now moved over to left field, I believe. Severson, I believe, is in center field. And then I'm not sure who is patrolling right field for the Patriots now. So we'll try to get that one locked in. But the infield's still the same, with Garrett still in the circle. This pitch taken for strike 2. 0-2 the count to Averett. Averett reached base in her only at bat. She walked back in the first inning and was stranded on base. Steps in here now. No balls and 2 strikes. Garrett with the pitch. Inside. Ball 1. 1-2 the count. Garrett with that patented smile.
As she just kind of goes about her business.
Nonchalant, locks in, and ready for the next pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes to the catcher, Averett. The pitch from Garrett is elevated, or ball 2, 2-2 the count.
I don't know. Was it 4th inning, and she's got a little pop on that mitt right there.
Still whipping it in there. We saw Aguilar warming up in the bullpen earlier, but not in the circle yet. This pitch is low for ball 3. 3-2 now the count. As Averett has worked the count pull, quickly got behind 0-2, and now a full count.
I tell you, any great pitcher, they'll tell you, just give me the ball, coach.
The pitch from Garrett, and
Uh-oh.
Averett sends it to the left field, and it's out of here. A bomb by the catcher. Mackie Averett sends a solo shot. She found the shorter part of the field, what the Patriots have not been able to find on the 3 deep shots, to all right at center field and just left of it. And Averett takes that pitch and deposits it over the left field wall for a solo home run. 1 run here for the Raiders. Cuts the lead back to 10 now, 11-1.
15, Tania Tate.
Well, I tell you that, I think at this spot of the game, I think Bethany's just challenging them, saying, hey, let's get this thing going.
And she did. She put in a good pitch on a 3-2 count. Averett sat on it and did a good job there. That brings up the center fielder, Tate. She steps in 0 for 1 on the night. Her first pitch is up for ball 1.
Yeah, the ball was kind of in on
Correction.
her.
Tate singled. That's right. She had a single back in the first at bat, 1 for 1 on the night. She steps in 1 for 1, and a 1-0 count to her.
I was just saying that ball was coming in, and she really did a really good job getting her hands through, and just kind of got it on the sweet spot.
2 balls, no strikes to Tate, the center fielder. Garrett with the sign and the pitch. Ground ball to second base. Sanford reaches over to backhand it. It goes off of her into center field. Severson will gather it there and throw it in. Tate reaches base. I think we got to give that one an error there, as Tate reaches base on the E4. First error of the night on the Patriots. And that'll bring up the pitcher, Damasio. Damasio struck out swinging in her only at bat back in the first inning. Steps in here with no outs. Here at the bottom of the 4th, 1 run across on the solo home run by Averett. And Tate down at first base. On the error, Tate now 1 for 2 on the night. She stands at first. Garrett with the pitch to Damasio. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
I'll tell you, when she throws that rise ball, it's about eye level. It looks like a beach ball, and you just never seem to be able to hit the beach ball.
and you see the opposing pitcher, Damasio, as soon as she swung it looked down at the coach like, I know. And she pulls the bat back on it looked like a bunt attempt.
I'll tell you, that is just such a hard pitch to not swing at, because it looks like it's just right there for the taking.
Damasio pulls the bat back, takes it for strike 2. 0-2 the count. Garrett. Strike 3, swinging miss by Damasio, and she's down with her second strikeout of the game. The first out of the 4th inning for the Raiders, and that's going to bring up Nieberg, the shortstop. Nieberg steps in. She's 0 for 1 on the night with a strikeout in her only at bat back in the 2nd inning. She steps in here with Tate down at first base and 1 out on the board. 11-1, the Patriots lead it by 10. Garrett readies and delivers the first pitch. Nieberg bunts it. Garrett fields it on the fly, makes the catch, throws to Sanford at second, and the double play is turned. So it'll be, P1 for the first out, 1-4 on the double play, and getting the Tate had taken off running on the bunt, and Garrett did a great job of coming out of the circle and fielding the ball in the air. But the Rouse Raiders go down, but with 1 run on 1 hit, a 1 Patriot error. No runners left on base after 4 innings. It's 11-1. The Patriots lead it by 10. Back with more Eastview softball on SHN in just a moment. go to the top of the 5th inning. Patriots lead it by 10, 11-1. A doo-wop in the lineup, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Patriots. Moses, Wesley, and Westbrook. We know Westbrook will most likely be hitting for her. She was not out in left field in the last inning, so she has been substituted for, so we'll find out who it is in just a moment. But in steps Kaylee Moses, the first baseman.
Let's see if we can make it 5 innings in a row.
Moses,
Get the leadoff batter on.
Moses 0 for 2 on the night, but with 3 RBIs and a base on ball. Steps in here from the left side. The pitch from Damasio is outside for ball 1. 101 pitches through 4 innings for Damasio as she works here in the circle in the 5th inning for the Raiders.
I tell you, she's made an impact even being 0 for 2. It seems like she's really hit the ball hard.
Yeah, 2 ground balls to second base. Both scored a run. And then the base on balls that scored a run when the bases were loaded. But you love to see that effort and that put out from your number 3 hitter. And there she goes.
There you go.
There she goes. She gets rewarded there. Takes that outside pitch, though, and keeps it something that we've seen tonight several times. Taking the pitch where it's hitting it where it's pitched. And Kaylee does it there and drives it just left of the pitcher into center field for the base hit.
Yeah, I tell you, and I know you mentioned earlier about I have a daughter that plays college ball, and one thing I'm learning, these pitchers stay on the outside part of the plate, so you got to start going opposite way, the oppo. So
Kaylee Moses gets her first base hit of the night. Down at first base, and Michaela Wesley, she's going to take a big hack.
I don't know. Well,
this one's into center field. Tate back, but it's off her glove at the fence as Moses circles first, or second, heads to third. Wesley in with the double. Tate had kind of played shadowed in and to the left a little bit, left to center field. And that ball went straight dead center field and hit off of, it looked like it hit off of Tate right at the wall. Give Wesley, I'm going to assume a double there on a good hit.
I tell you, the long balls that we've hit tonight are all been to the like, I guess the imaginary warning track in center field.
Yeah, the longest part of the park, too, as Bella Diaz now into bat in place of Westbrook. She'll step in here for her first at bat, take the first pitch low for ball 1. So Bella Diaz, the junior utility, is what she's listed in the roster. And in the outfield, back in the last inning defensively, bats here in the top of the 5th inning. Swing and a miss, evens out the count at 1 apiece.
Well, that was a good cut. It looked like she just missed that one.
Diaz, another player that you don't see a lot of, but valuable opportunities here to get cuts and get some work in before the playoff run. This pitch taken high, good eye there by Diaz. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike.
I tell you, it's amazing to me how they can come off the bench and then lay off a pitch like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it just shows you I got a really good eye.
2-1 the count. Diaz will take that one for ball 3. And another inning where I didn't say it. I got to five innings and 5 leadoff batters aboard for the Patriots. And then Wesley follows it up with a hit. So both batters on. And now the third batter of the inning gets on the walk. Bella Diaz draws a 4-5 pitch walk. And that'll bring up the catcher, number 6, Angel Rodriguez, with the bases loaded here in the 5th inning and no outs. Rodriguez grounded out to the pitcher in the first inning. Reached on an error in the second. Grounded out to the third baseman. Reached on a fielder's choice. Back. Let's see, where is she? She walked in her last at bat. Rodriguez steps in here, takes the first pitch for ball 1.
I tell you, you kind of hope she actually pitches her away a little bit, and hopefully Angel can take it oppo, because if you look at that center fielder shaded to left field, the right fielder looks like she's pretty much playing straight up. So, hey, she's like, I don't care. I'm going to hit it in the gap anyway.
Rodriguez pulls it to left center field. It's a 2-hopper off the fence, and the bases will be cleared of Patriot runners. A play at the plate. Rodriguez tries to move up to third, and she's going to be tagged out. A nice play there by Everett. The throw came from the outfielder Tate all the way in, trying to make a play at the plate. The runner was safe, but Everett threw down to the third baseman, Westenskow, and Rodriguez tagged out there. So give her a double, and she was thrown out 2-5 on the putout for the first out of the inning, but a 3 RBI double for the catcher, Rodriguez.
I'll tell you, the center fielder was shaded left field, but I guess when you hit it that hard, it gets through anyway.
And what a shot there by Angel. Wooten grounds it out in front of the plate. She's going to motor down the line, but she's going to be thrown out. The pitcher, Damasio, did a great play there. She came out of the circle, fielded it, and made the throw to first base 1-3 on the putout.
Yeah, that was a nice play because most of the time I think the batter's on, and that was she just got a really good jump out of the circle.
Wooten just out in front of that one and just caught the tip of the ball there at the end of the bat, and it stayed fair. And so 1-3 on the putout, the second out of the inning. 14-1, the Patriots lead it by 13. Severson steps in for her second at bat, and the same thing. She takes a cut off the end of the bat. She motors down, but Averett comes out from behind the plate, builds it, and makes the play. 2-3 on the putout, and the Patriots go down here in the fifth, but not before they put up 3 runs to extend the lead to 13. 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and no runners left on base. 14-1, the Patriots lead it over the Raiders. Back with more Patriots softball in just a moment. Bow, wow. Back here, SHN Sports. We're at Rouse High School in Leander, Texas. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. I'm Wally Harmon along with tonight my special guest, Keith Burris, with me tonight here for the Patriot softball game. It's a 14-1 lead for the Patriots. The Rouse Lady Raiders down to their last 3 outs. If they don't put across 4 runs here, the ball game will be considered a run bowl. As the batter, the right fielder, Solomon, swings and misses at the first pitch from Bethany Garrett. She's thrown 60 pitches on the night as she starts off here in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Wow, because she threw 23 first inning, so, man, she's been really efficient since then.
Done a great job and works ahead of Solomon. 0-2 now on the swing and a miss by Solomon. Solomon on the night 0 for 1 with a strikeout, looking back in her only at bat. She steps back in with an 0-2 count. Garrett with the pitch, and it's just low for ball 1.
I'll tell you what, it seems like she's done a really good job of. It seems like every time we look up, it's an 0-2 count, and now it's like, okay, I can throw you what I want.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Solomon swing and a miss, down on strikes for the second time of the night. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Good job there by Garrett, and that will be Garrett's 8th strikeout of the night. And that'll bring up number 6, the first baseman, Devin MacArthur. MacArthur 0 for 1 on the night. A pop out to the shortstop, Vidalis. Back in her only at bat. Steps in here from the left side with 1 out in the bottom of the 5th. The pitch from Garrett. A swing and a miss. 0-1 the count to MacArthur.
So is today the first day of April or February? It's got a little chill in there now, doesn't it?
I tell you what, that sun went down. Thankfully, it is not a windy night. Swing and a miss by MacArthur. 0-2. That one, I tell you what, Keith, 23 pitches in the first inning, 10, 14, and 13. Garrett has locked in, and pitches like that still here in the 5th with a good amount of pop in that glove.
Yeah, 0-2 count again.
And it's fouled off. MacArthur stays alive. She fouls it off back over the backstop. Out of play.
Yeah, she's gotten a lot of these batters down 0-2 in the count, and I tell you, she's got some really good pitches, change of, rise ball, some of these I think curve balls, so she can really pitch what she wants to.
Michaela Wesley, she didn't want Vidalis to have all the highlights in her batting extraordinaire tonight that Vidalis has had. Westbrook does what a third baseman is supposed to do. If you can take the ball and make the play, you make the play. And the ball popped up towards the shortstop area, and Wesley reacted quickly and snatched it out of the air. So a P5 in the book L5 in the book for the second out of the inning. And up steps number 11, the left fielder, Kelch, for her second at bat. Kelch grounded out to the third baseman, Wesley, in her only at bat, 0 for 1 on the night.
Yeah, she's got some hops there. Caught it at the top of her glove, and that was a good play.
1-0 the count to Couch. This pitch, swing and a miss, evens up the count at 1 apiece. 1 ball, 1 strike. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The Raiders down to their last 2 strikes. They got to do work to be able to extend the ball game. Patriots looking to close it out here in 5 with the run roll. The pitch from Garrett is fouled off back to the backstop by Kelch. 1-2 now the count.
And I want to give a little shout out to the Blues today. The umps, they've been really consistent behind the plate or in the field as well. So they've done a great job.
You love it when the Blues do a good enough job that it's not something that's common conversation when watching a game or calling a game, that you're not feeling like they are just becoming bigger than the game.
Yeah.
And they've done a great job tonight. Very well.
When you realize they're, hey, wait a minute, they're there, and you didn't realize they were, so that's a good thing.
2-2 the count. Couch swinging a miss. Strikeout, 9th of the night for Garrett, and that's the ball game. The Patriots win it 14-1 over the Rouse Raiders. Quick timeout, be back and finish it up. Signing off for Patriots Softball on SHN. Back here at Leander, where the Patriots are victorious over the Rouse Lady Raiders. 14-1 your final. The Lady Patriots improved to 21-3 on the year, 9-2 in district play. And the Rouse Lady Raiders fall to 0-19, 0-10 in district play. 14 runs on 13 hits. The Patriot bats working again tonight, doing their job. A lot of good cuts for some of the players you don't see a lot of. Dallas doing a great job in the leadoff role, playing shortstop tonight. Michaela Wesley hitting the ball well tonight, getting back in her groove and making some good plays down at third base. Severson stepping in, getting a base hit. Paley Wooten doing a great job. Keith, now the run starts. 3 big games left for the Patriots, if you look at it. On April 9th, I was about to say February. April 9th, Cedar Park